Hey everybody, this is John Oakes again with logicblogger.com, and in this short video we're going to go over the steps necessary to set up our Feedburner feed for our WordPress blog, as well as I'm going to show you how easy it is to integrate the Feedburner email subscribe widget into your blog, and also additionally we're going to talk about Aweber email marketing system and incorporating an email subscription list subscribe widget right into the sidebar of your blog as well. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do, and of course you can see right here on the screen, we're looking at our Collect World Coins blog that we've been doing throughout this workshop. We're going to go ahead and quickly jump up here to the very top. Now if you're using the thesis theme, you're going to show by default a subscribe link right at the top. If you're using a different theme, you probably have something very similar. If you hover over the top of the RSS feed subscribe and do a right mouse click, and click on the copy link address link. Depending on what browser you're using, that verbiage might be a little bit different. You'll want to copy the URL for your WordPress RSS feed. And then we're going to go over here to Feedburner, and you can get there by just going to feedburner.com. Now this is a Google-owned service, so it does require that you have a Google account. Now if you don't have a Google account, go ahead and set one up. You'll see right on the feedburner.com main screen there's a link there to set up an account. Once you've done that, you can go to feedburner.com, log in using your Google credentials, and then you'll see right here on the main page, once you're logged in, that there's a field here that says burn a feed right this instant. You'll go ahead and paste in the URL to your RSS feed on your blog and click the next button. Now again, if you're having trouble finding your feed URL, it is typically the fully qualified domain address of your blog with a /, the word feed, and another /. So if you can't find the link on your blog, try that. That should work. You'll click the next button. And then you go down here and name your feed. So I'm just going to leave the feed title at the default name of my blog. And then you can choose a specific feed address keyword that you want. I suggest putting something in there that has keywords for your niche in there. Collect World Coins works perfectly for this one. We'll go ahead and click Next. And now we have a Feedburner feed. So this URL right here is going to be the actual feed URL for Feedburner. So now if we just do a right mouse click, I'm going to open in a new tab. Just to show you, this is what our new feed looks like. And you can see our blog post that we did in a previous lesson is showing up there as contained in our feed. So going back to Feedburner, we want to actually copy this address. We're going to use that when we go back to our blog. So you can make a note of that, copy it somewhere, or just simply memorize it. The Feedburner feeds URLs are always feeds.feedburner.com/your keyword or your blog name, whichever you chose in that previous field. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go down here and click the next button at the bottom of this screen. And I'm not going to cover this. You can take some time to read through some of this. It gives you some different stats that you can choose to have available to you. We're going to skip right to the next step, which is crucial, and that is once you get into the feed management screen here, it'll look similar to this. You want to click on the Publicize tab, and then what you want to do is go down here to where it says Email Subscriptions. Click on that, and we want to activate email subscriptions. Because what we're going to do next is actually copy and paste some code out of here and create an email subscribe RSS widget for our sidebar of our blog. So I'm going to scroll right down to here, and in this first box, we can just copy this code right out of here. And now we're going to go back to our blog. So if we jump back to our blog, you'll want to log in to your WordPress dashboard. And by now you've done that enough times, you should know exactly how to do that. And in the dashboard, you're going to scroll down here to where it says Appearance and Widgets. And then over in our sidebar, we're going to grab a text widget from over here on the left-hand window, and we're going to drag that over to our sidebar. And you can choose where you want that to appear in the sidebar. For this example, I'm going to put it right at the top. And then we're going to paste that code that we got from Feedburner right into that, and we're going to call it subscribe to my feed. And you can title it whatever you want or choose not to have a title. That's entirely your choice. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And then we're going to jump over here and I'm going to show you what that looks like. And there it is. Right there on the right-hand sidebar of our blog, we now have the subscribe to my feed widget. It says enter your email address and click subscribe, delivered by Feedburner. When somebody puts their email address in there and hits subscribe, it's going to bring up this little pop-up that has them put in a CAPTCHA code and then complete the subscription request, and then they subscribe to your RSS feed through email. So now what that means is every time you make a new blog post and publish it, they will get an email from you that says, hey, check this out, here's a new blog post. And they can either read it right in the feed in the email, or they can click on that and go to your blog and read it on your blog. It's a way of just being able to continually stay in touch with people and keep them coming back to your blog over and over again as long as you're publishing new, fresh content on a regular basis. Now there's one other step here that's very important, because remember, up here at the top where it says subscribe to my RSS feed, or if you're using a different theme, somewhere on there there's going to be the RSS icon or an RSS subscribe button that's still connected to your old feed. We don't want to use that anymore. We want everything to be adopting the new Feedburner feed that we just set up. So the way that we do that in the thesis theme is we go into our dashboard, and under the thesis menu we want to click on Site Options, and then down here under Syndication Feed URL we want to put in the new feed address. So in here we're going to paste in our new Feedburner feed address. And then once we've done that, we click the Save button. Now when we visit our blog, you'll see that when we hover over this now, if you can see that, you can't see the bottom of my screen, but we'll now see that when we click on that, it's going to actually open the Feedburner feed instead of the default WordPress feed. So it allows people to actually subscribe to your feed through the Feedburner mechanism and be able to receive those feeds via email. So that concludes setting up the feeds through Feedburner. Now what we're going to do is move on and talk about building your email list.